Good morning. Now, I don't want y'all to applaud too much during my speech because I only have 10 minutes, so y'all calm yourselves down. I'm David Baria, and I'm running for the United States Senate because I believe it's way past time for change in our state. I love Mississippi. Mississippi's a great state. We have abundant resources and amazing and resilient people. Like you, I've chosen to live in our state and to work to improve it. We can and we must do better. Our state needs leadership that puts people first. We need leadership that understands and respects decency and appreciates the beautiful differences of all of our people. We need someone in Washington who reflects the values of all Mississippians. Unfortunately, we are currently represented in Washington by folks who vote for the best interests of corporate America over the best interest of small communities around Mississippi. Corporate America has plenty of influence in Washington. I'm running for the United States Senate because I think it's way past time that regular Mississippians had some. I believe that Mississippi will only reach its potential when the least among us has an equal opportunity to succeed. That's why my campaign has been about lifting up working people in our state, the middle class, people who live paycheck to paycheck, and giving voice to their concerns. Concerns like public education and health care and jobs. Now, despite what you're going to hear from this podium today from some speakers, our state's economy is struggling. You know this. You see this every day in your businesses. You'll hear some top-line numbers being thrown around up here, but let's take a second to dig into the Mississippi numbers just a minute. Total employment hit 1,223,887 in July. That was up 0.3% from July 2008. However, we were nearly 7% behind the rest of the country over the same period. Total non-farm jobs in Mississippi reached 1,165,500 in July. That was up 1.9% from July 2008. Over the same period, though, U.S. non-farm jobs grew 8.4%. Mississippi is not keeping pace with the rest of the country. Employment is down in 2/3 of our 82 counties. Mississippi's wages also fell further behind national averages over that 10-year period from 2008 to this year. Back in 2008, Mississippi's wages averaged $33,508, behind the national average by just over $12,000. For 2017, Mississippi's wages averaged $38,788, behind the national average by $16,602. We are losing ground, folks. We remain in 50th place and are falling further behind 49th place when it comes to both job creation and wages. These are the facts. When I'm your United States Senator, I will never sugarcoat the facts just to make you feel better. I'll take on the issues that hold us back head on, because you cannot address problems and reach solutions to those problems unless you first acknowledge the existence of a problem. Take the brain drain, for example. We have leaders here who refuse to even acknowledge that we have lost nearly 40,000 young people over the last 4 to 5 years. How are we going to address this concern when we won't even acknowledge that it exists? How are we going to begin to make our state a place where young people want to come and build their careers and build their families and build their lives when we refuse to believe that we even have a problem here? These young people are our future, and they are leaving our state in droves. Our healthcare system also has problems. You heard Commissioner Cheney earlier talk about a few of them. We have 5 hospitals that are closed. 4 hospitals have filed bankruptcy in just the last 2 months alone. That's a problem. Others have closed or threatening to close, and others still have stopped providing services like emergency room treatment. There's no mystery as to what has caused this problem. We opted to forego about $12 billion in federal money under the Affordable Care Act. With that money, we could have helped those hospitals, provided health care to over 300,000 Mississippians, and created 8,000 or 9,000 medical sector jobs. Instead, our leadership made a blatant political choice that did not take into account the best interest of our citizens or the future of our rural hospital system. Now, folks, Roger and I have very serious differences on the issues important to Mississippians. That's why I asked him to debate me. You know, he didn't even bother to reply. When the Mississippi Bar Association, Mississippi College Law School, Millsaps College, the League of Women Voters, and others asked, he didn't bother to respond to them either. People I've been talking to find it galling that a man who has served for 24 years in Washington, a servant of the people of this state, is unwilling to stand before the people and defend his positions on issues and respond to the questions of voters. If a man can't stand on a stage and go toe-to-toe before the voters, then I don't believe he deserves your vote. The future of this state and this country is too important to trust it to a person who lacks the courage of his convictions. What are you scared of, Roger? Why won't you join me, shoulder to shoulder, to discuss the future of our country? I'm going to tell you something else I believe. When world leaders sow the seeds of hatred and division, people of good conscience cannot shrink from that conflict. Now is the time for good people to stand up and speak out against language and actions that lead to violence. This election is about our future, the future of America. Since the Cold War, Americans have lived in an era of huge expansion of international trade, travel, and culture. All of this happened under our uncontested military, political, economic, and cultural supremacy in America. That age is over. 25 years ago, China made up less than 2% of the global gross domestic product. Today, that figure is 15%, second only to the United States. In the next decade or so, the Chinese economy will surpass the size of America's. Already, half of the 20 most valuable tech companies in the world are based in China. China is now the United States' main rival for superpower status. This is a great challenge, and the best way to handle such a challenge lies in revitalization at home, and not in tariffs or military threats. Since when did we believe that chaos is a good economic strategy? Tariffs might be okay at a tactical level, but they don't address our core challenge. We need to start rebuilding America's infrastructure, rebuilding our educational system, spending money on scientific research, and repairing the dysfunction that has made our political model less appealing around the world. This is the best response to these global concerns and the right thing to do to secure a prosperous future for America. Similarly, we need to address the core challenges here in Mississippi: healthcare, education, infrastructure. To do this, we must first acknowledge that we have problems there, and we have to work together to get our house in order. We got to do this first so that we create a place where our young people want to live and businesses want to locate. Only then will we begin to move Mississippi out of 50th place. I believe that we can do this in Mississippi. Our rise from the bottom begins when we elect new leaders. Leaders who are ready to embrace change. This begins by voting for a new Mississippi on November 6th. It begins by voting for David Baria for the United States Senate on Election Day. Thank you for your time and attention today. God bless you. God bless the great state of Mississippi. Thank you again.